Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's episode, I'm going to do part two of my personal collection presentation. The first part I did last week, and I covered my baseball Hall of Fame rookie cards. Today's section, as it says in the title, I'm going to show my top 10 most iconic cards in my collection. Each one of these different segments in my collection, as you could imagine, there's probably going to be a little bit of overlap. I try to keep that to a minimum, so I'm going to try to show each time I do one of these videos, try to show primarily the group of cards that I have not shown before. But sometimes the categories are going to overlap, like I said, so I apologize in advance for that, but some of these cards are really great cards, and I don't think you would mind seeing them more than one time, I hope anyway. So I'm going to get started here. Give me 1 second to pull up the first one. Okay, so the first one we're going to show here is Christy Mathewson. This is a 1911 M116 is the American Card Catalog designation, and it's the Sporting Life blue background, Christy Mathewson. This one I picked up, I saw it listed on eBay. A good friend of mine who I also know from social media groups had it for sale. Once I figured out who it was, I was able to reach out to him. We had done business before. I texted him. We worked out a deal off of eBay. And as always, everything went smoothly. Picked up the card. This one I've got probably about a year and a half now. And as of right now, it's the only Christy Mathewson card in my collection. Of course, Mathewson being an Inner Circle Hall of Famer, I would like to add a couple of more. Just haven't come across the right card at the right price at the right time recently. So always on the lookout for Mathewson. There was I think it was in an REA auction last year. There was a E125 American Caramel die cut, which I know Sammy Thunder ended up picking up. I was very interested in that one, but there was another card in the same auction that I was also after. And at the end of the auction, I had already won that card, and my funds that I was going to use for the Mathewson were then gone. So I had to pass on that one. So anyway, first card, M116, 1911, Sporting Life, Christy Mathewson. Okay, next up is going to be one of my oversized items. So this is the 1909 M101-2. These were the Sporting News supplements. And over the past few years, PSA has started to grade these now that they have large enough size holders to encapsulate them. And the values of these, as is the case with many things, if PSA starts grading something they never did before, prices tend to skyrocket almost immediately. That was very apparent with the star basketball Michael Jordan cards from the 1980s in basketball. But anyway, they grade these M101-2s now, and this one received a 1 grade. It's Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner, famous image here, shaking hands before the 1909 World Series between the Tigers and the Pirates. This exact same image appears not only here on this supplement, but also in 2 different postcard sets, the Novelty Cutlery postcard set, which came out around 1910, and also the PC 796 Sepia postcard set, which came out around the same time as well. So this one, of course, two of my favorite all-time favorite players, Cobb and Wagner, and one image. Just couldn't pass this one up. I'm always on the lookout for the two postcards that I don't have and I'm looking for. If anybody ever has any leads on those, I would love to find out about them if they're up for auction. So that was my second iconic card from the PC. Moving on to the third now. Okay, this one I think I showed last week in my rookie video. This is the 1915 Cracker Jack Grover Cleveland Alexander. Beautiful card. It's graded authentic. When I bought it, my understanding was from the seller, the top edge was slightly trimmed, but otherwise fantastic color, fantastic centering, really sharp card, and enabled me to buy it at a price that an authentic or a one Cracker Jack Grover would sell for, as opposed to getting I used to have a one, it was actually a 1914 Grover. It was a PSA one and it had two corners completely clipped off. And that always bothered me. I probably shouldn't have bought it, but I had it for a little while. The price of the 14s jumped up and I took advantage and sold it and probably got double what I paid for it and moved on. And eventually this past year, I finally picked this one up on eBay. Okay, number 4 is going to be, this is one of the caramel cards from Honus Wagner. The same image appears on a number of different caramel Wagner sets. This is from the E98 series. Amongst the caramel cards, the E98 is probably maybe the most plentiful. Not that any of them are easy to find, and especially these days, affordability is a whole nother story. But the E98s came with various different color backgrounds. This one is a blue, which is one of the tougher ones to find. The most common ones are the red, and that's primarily because there was a big find several years ago called the Black Swamp Find. And many of these E98 caramel cards were found all in one collection. And many of them graded super high, like they received 8s and 9s, and even a few of them received 10s from that Black Swamp Find. This one was obviously not part of that. It's a 1. It's got somewhere visible on it. But nice centered example, nice image of Wagner. And like I said, iconic image appears on many different Wagner caramel cards. Okay, card number 5 is going to be another popular one. This is the 1933 Gaudi Jimmy Fox. This one I bought. I really like the color on it. Very sharp image and beautiful centering. And of course, everybody loves the 33 Gaudi with all the bright colors compared to most of the cards from that era. That many were black and white. So 33 Gaudi Fox. Some people call this a rookie card. It's really not. Fox had cards in the late 20s. But first really mainstream card, I guess you could say, for Jimmy Fox. And this one's graded a PSA 4. This was a very recent eBay pickup. Okay, card number 6 we're going to look at now. And this was another recent pickup. It was a prearranged deal, but I picked it up in Strongsville from Matt at the Card Story, one of my good friends in the hobby. Matt and I worked out a deal where I traded multiple Hall of Fame, primarily Hall of Fame rookie cards, to him in exchange for this 1934 or 1933 DeLong Lou Gehrig in the SGC4 holder. And this one's a super bright colored, sharp card. Left to right centering is a little bit off, but otherwise couldn't ask for a nicer card, really. And one of the most popular cards these days in pre-war, I think. 1933 DeLong Lou Gehrig. Okay, next up will be card number 7. And this will be the 1909 to 11 Ty Cobb T206. This is the bat off shoulder. Out of the 4 Ty Cobb T206 cards, the bat off shoulder is really the only one I was seeking out. I really like the multicolored background in the sky behind him. And also this one had a nice bold image of Cobb. Centering's a little off, left to right, and a little bit of a diamond cut, I guess. But it's graded a 1. And the other thing I really like about this one is it's an old mill back. So not one of the rarest, but definitely a tougher back than the more common Piedmont and Sweet Cap. So T206 Cobb, bat off shoulder. Okay, next up we've got one more Ty Cobb card. This is another one of my oversized items. And one of my favorite sets ever. It's the Turkey Reds from 1911. These are cabinet size. They fit in the largest PSA holders. This is one of the largest card sets that can still be encapsulated these days. And this one with Cobb here is pretty much a perfect card. It's in an authentic altered holder. And I was advised when I bought it, the alteration on the card here, you would never be able to see it. But in the grandstand background on the upper left corner of the card in the blue, there's about a 1/16 of an inch area of paper loss, which somebody recolored with the same blue color to fill in the little bit of white that was there. And that's the entire alteration. Otherwise, just about an unimprovable Turkey Red Ty Cobb there. And couldn't be happier. I picked this one up, and I basically paid the price of what an authentic or a 1 would cost. And aside from that slight alteration, this is probably presents as I would think a 5 Turkey Red PSA 5 or 6 kind of range, and those would be huge numbers in terms of cost. So super happy to have this one of probably my top 5 cards overall in my collection right now. Okay, moving on to card number 9. And this one's going to be a repeat from last episode with the rookies. So this is a T206, 1909 to 11 Sweet Cap Tris Speaker Hall of Fame rookie card with Boston. This one's a super well-centered example, just about 50-50 perfect all the way around. Corners are very minimal wear, and the back is equally as clean, strong SGC4, I would say. And again, a Hall of Fame rookie card as well. This one can be pinned down to 1910, a little further than the normal 09 to 11 range that most of the T206s get on the grading labels. And the last card we're going to look at, my top 10 most iconic cards in my collection. I tried to keep these to all pre-war. I do have some post-war, but those appear in a lot of videos, so I opted to go with these. And this one, is, of course, is the 1939 play ball Ted Williams. My picture could be a little better centered in the screen there. But obviously 39 play ball, it's graded in SGC4. It's an old label. But I think 100% qualified in today's grading world. I think it would still receive at least a 4. The centering, again, almost perfect all the way around, similar to the speaker. The borders and all are not bright white. But sometimes when they are that white, you have to start to wonder, maybe the card been cleaned or altered in any way. This one, you can obviously see the kind of more like almost like a cream color background, and it looks like normal wear of a 1939 baseball card that's approaching 100 years old pretty soon. So my 39 play ball, Ted Williams, another overlap from last week's rookie segment as well. And the last card I'm going to show today for my top 10 most iconic cards in the collection. So next episode is going to be, I think, a nice surprise. It's a totally different segment of my collection. I've gone in a number of different directions in assembling what I have today. A lot of that is intentional. I don't, it kind of maybe it gets old after a while if all you do is constantly go after the same stuff all the time. So the next segment's going to be, I think, a refreshing change from my normal Hall of Fame rookie card agenda, as well as my iconic cards, which I showed today. So stay tuned for that one. That one should be coming out next week. I'm going to try to put these out once a week or so, in between other things. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys again on the next one.